It was a long drive back from Nanaimo. Longer than usual, as my bladder was full due to a large Tim Hortons coffee. The pressure had been slowly building, but I chose to zip past the numerous gas stations perched along the island highway. By the time I had turned onto the Alberni Highway, the situation was becoming urgent. Fortunately, I knew of several outhouses coming up. Cameron Lake wasn't too far. Throughout the twists and turns, I was sure I'd make it to the main swimming area. One outhouse sat along a trail, which I'd used on many occasions, but this time I didn't stop there. I saw a sign indicating a picnic area and veered off to the right. As I slowly drove down a narrow dirt road, I looked around with apprehension. This was a spot I had passed countless times, yet never checked out. Douglas fir trees towered all around, blocking out a large portion of what was left of the daylight. I parked and spotted 2 outhouses right away. Great. Go in, do my business, get out, and continue my way home to Port Alberni. It was a treat to be able to spend time soaking in the splendor of the Cameron Lake area, instead of merely driving by it. But once I took a few steps down the pathway, an uneasy feeling came over me, and I instinctually picked up a pointy stick. It wasn't much, but at least it was something in case I needed to defend myself. The sun was setting fast. I figured it was best that a young woman such as myself not be wandering an unknown trail, and decided to head back to my car. Moments later, I heard a loud bang. Figuring it was just an outhouse door slamming shut, I wasn't alarmed. But once I made my way around one outhouse, another loud bang was heard. This time, I knew the sound wasn't coming from the door. I quickly unlocked my door, got in, and drove away fast. The forest was silent, except for the bangs. No talking, shouting, laughter, nor rustling of trees. Why was someone throwing rocks at the outhouse that I had used just moments before? Yes, I deduced, somebody did not want me there, for whatever reason. I was lucky. No damage to my car. But whoever was throwing the rocks could easily have smashed all of my windows if they wanted to. Or they could have caused me serious injury. I believed the rocks were meant only to scare me away. I was more annoyed than scared, but whatever their intent, they succeeded in getting me to leave. Once I got home, I posted this strange experience on Facebook and asked my friends what their thoughts on this situation were. The general consensus was that the behavior seemed to denote a Sasquatch. I considered that a ridiculous notion. Not that I didn't believe in the possibility of their existence, I just didn't believe they resided in a lakeside picnic area close to a road traveled by regular commuters. I would have seen one at some point. I'd been driving Highway 4 back and forth almost daily for 3 years. Bears have been spotted, and thousands of deer, but no Bigfoot. Or have there been? There have been numerous reports of Bigfoot sightings in Tofino, Kennedy Lake, Indian Bay, Radar Hill, Long Beach, Coombs, and Whiskey Creek. Perhaps it's not too much of a stretch that they could be spotted here in the Alberni Valley as well. Maybe they drank the clear water from the pool at the hole in the wall and bathed in the waterfall. Maybe they caught trout in the raging Stamp River. Are bears the only big hairy beasts seen from Victoria Key, or do we need to look closer? They've been watching swimmers enjoy the warm, clear water at Sprout Lake, Port Alberni's recreational paradise. Would they know what the petroglyphs depicted? Perhaps they've been sniffing the air as burgers are barbecued at Canal Beach. Do they occasionally check out the old buildings and sawmills at the McLean Mill Historic Site, wondering how humans could live in such small dwellings instead of freely roaming about in the great outdoors? If only they weren't so elusive. Maybe one day they will step out of those old-growth forests and enter into a new world where they can dine on scrumptious food at the harbor quay. Or check out a Bulldogs game, Port Alberni's junior hockey team. Our cruise to Bamfield on the Lady Rose, watching humpback whales along the way. Perhaps they'll attempt a game of frisbee in Blair Park. They'd certainly get quite the distance, flinging that disc so far it would never be seen again. Someday Sasquatch may casually wander about in hats and shades, enjoying a latte along Argyle Street. Until then, they will continue to reside in the 6,000 plus square kilometers that make up the Port Alberni Valley, occasionally throwing rocks at us. Let's just hope our property and our noggins will be okay.